So hello guys and welcome to a Pokemon match. I'm Dax and with me is Mr. DodgeThiss. So Dodge, what is this match specifically?
So we have a surprise recorded match. So we have something to cast. So
Yeah.
it's from John Ronel Payumo on the left side and Arby Mia on the right side.
So what is
So
this, Dodge? Was this a tournament that actually happened recently?
it's just a friendly show match, you know.
Okay.
You were all gathered in the house, so might as well do it.
Yeah, so in-house thing. But anyway, we are gonna be looking at the team. So John on the left, right, and Arby on the right-hand side. We see a Durant, a Chandelure, a Hitmontop, a Togekiss, a Hydreigon, and a Gyarados here for the blue-hand side. And on the red, Dodge, take it away.
On the red side is Dragapult, Dracovish, Whimsicott, Togekiss, Rhyperior, and Dusclops.
And first things first though, I see for John, he already has two Intimidators. It's gonna be both the Gyarados and that Hitmontop, so really attack being cut on the side of RB. Hopefully he will have clear body on that Dragapult to be able to fend that off. And I'm very interested on the Durant. I haven't seen this too much. What do you think about the Durant in
He's
the
a really
blue
good
side?
Pokemon. The meta. So he has Hustle as his ability. It raises his attack by 1.5 one stage. Oh wait, we're already starting with the
Yeah,
match.
it seems like we are going to be getting into the game. First game here and now. And I do want to talk about that ability real quick on the Durant. Sure, the hustle is great. It amplifies so much damage to begin with, but at the same time, I feel like there's an issue of that accuracy, so it might be into play into this whole match. But first things first, here we go with the Hitmontop and the Durant. We already see the hustle being procced. In the meantime, Hitmontop going for that Intimidate, but there you go, Dragapult having that clear body. And in this scenario, it seems like that Dracovish won't be the speediest Pokemon of them all.
So Durant is in a bad position here because Shaolin doesn't know that if the Dragapult doesn't have a fire move or not. So he might get one hit KO here if he has Max Flare, and
Yeah.
or if not, Durant will go rampant with a Dynamax, and probably go for a Max Steel Spike on the Dragapult as well.
Yeah, I think that Durant, honestly, only the fire would be the issue, but the Dracovish actually swapping out, so this might mean the Dragapult has no real way to answer in the first place. But there you go with the Dynamax, the Dragapult gonna be looking big. And if it isn't gonna be a Max Flare Dodge, this has to be an attack potentially on that Hitmontop instead. The Intimidate so pesky against the lineup of our red team so far for Arby, right? And yeah, Dragapult gonna be looking big. Might be a Max Wormwood into the field. Will Durant be the same? Will it be the sweeper in this scenario?
It will go for the Dynamax here. So with Hustle, it lowers your accuracy but raises your attack, right? But with
Yep.
Dynamax, that doesn't matter since they're always accurate. So that's one thing why Durant is really good in its Dynamax form.
Oh, really? All max moves aren't affected by accuracy in that point?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool, really cool. But anyway, we start things off with the Hitmontop going for the fake out priority onto that Togekiss, who was expecting the Dracovish to stay on, prevent that Fisher's Rend to begin with. But the Max Wormwood here from that Dragapult. One hit KO onto
Big
that
damage.
Hitmontop. That's a lot of damage there. That has to be a really potent dragon move, that stab being so effective. And even getting the debuff.
Spike.
Yeah, into the Steel Spike though, we are gonna get the defense, but sadly, with one Pokemon down, it's only the Durant gonna get that. Still though, a lot of damage, like you were saying, that Durant with that hidden ability, even with the Life Orb as we see, and that is gonna be the sweeper here and now for Team Blue. But anyway, we will get a swap into the Togekiss we go. Will be pretty effective against that Dynamax Dragapult in behind.
So double Togekiss right here. So both follow me users trying to protect their Dynamax user. But Dragapult in a rough spot since he doesn't damage Togekiss as much as Durant will damage Togekiss. But Togekiss might be using the Berry here for the first Max Steel Spike.
Yeah, we'll see what our Togekiss can handle. You'd expect them for the follow me, maybe even a Tailwind. We don't see much Trick Room antics besides the Chandelier as well as that Evilite Dusclops. But I'd say it would be the red hand side with the advantage if the Trick Room does come up to begin with the Rhyperior into the fold. Both sides right now trying to decide what they're going to go on. I really want to see what utility that Togekiss has, but looking at the HP values here and now, you can see the two Togekiss are trained pretty differently. More HP for the red team, In the meantime, maybe the Togekiss of Blue will have that speed. But yeah, Phantasm here and now. And I believe this will disregard that Steel Spike because it will reduce the defense on the blue hand side.
So, Durant isn't really damaged too much by the Max Phantasm since it has a high defense stat. So Max Steel Spike again on the Togekiss. Doesn't have a Berry. Goes down in one hit.
Yeah, can't even handle that super effective move. So what could be on that red Togekiss? But defense going back up yet again, disregarding that Phantasm to begin with. In the meantime, we still have that other Togekiss, and oh, it's a Dazzling Gleam connecting onto Dragon Bolt. And ooh, the Dynamax will fall. So 2 down here and now for Arby. This looks pretty tough, Dodge. Can Arby win this one out?
It might be pretty hard for him right now since Dracovish, with the Togekiss in hand, he will not get the first move off the Fisher's Rend, so it will not get double damage since Follow Me goes first. Anyway, regardless of attacks, speed stat.
And I believe the speed stat of that Durant will be higher in that Dracovish too.
Definitely.
In its own biological nature. But now it comes the Rhyperior, and that's an interesting last pick here for Arby. He doesn't have any real setup for the Trick Room, so for sure, the Rhyperior will go last. The Dynamax is already used on that Dragon Bolt, and this looks pretty tough. We'll see if Arby can stay it out. And in the meantime, who's on the blue hand side again, Dodge?
It's Renny.
Renny. So Renny will still have that one more turn of the Dynamax. And this was an interesting VOD dodge. We had to fix this one up. There were issues with the audio, as you can see. We're using some old audio right now from the old games, as well as just fixing up the brightness. But here comes the Rockfall, and is this actually a good idea? The Dracovish, of course, will have that resistance against the Steel Spike, I believe. But this sets up the Sandstorm, and the Rhyperior will be the one that will get that extra special defense to begin with. Fisher's Rend right here, right now, overcoming the Togekiss, and it's a one-hit KO, getting the crits! Even more damage done.
That really sets back. Unless Rhyperior has heavy... Okay,
oh,
he doesn't
heavy
have
Slam's not gonna work! It's not gonna work, he's Dynamax!
No.
That is so unfortunate.
That's a big misplay.
That is a big misplay. Look, the Heavy Slam, an ability that does more damage the bigger you are than your opponent, but...
Oh, wait.
Big.
I think he double targeted the Togekiss in the first place. Kasi he Heavy Slam, he would have gone for the Rock Slide if he was aiming for the Durant anyway, so...
Yeah, probably that crit surprising, but here we go! It's the Intimidate, actually, here for the blue hand side. And yeah, the Gyarados and both the Hitmontop. What do you think about sending in 2 Intimidator? Seems like it's a big risk, but it does pan out pretty well in terms of the roster. And that Gyarados, of course, gonna be that water type, will be effective against the Rhyperior unless the Rock Slide connects in a critical manner. In the meantime, the Durant versus the Dracovish, both pretty low in that HP value. But it seems like the Dracovish will be that first target, because here comes the Durant. Goes for the Stomping Tantrum, will get the KO. Oh, 14 HP should be enough perhaps.
Power
with the
Whip.
Sandstorm. Never mind, the Power Whip will get that super effective. It will be takedown there. No, it's just a normal move rather. But yeah, it will be a takedown still, doubling up. Fire Punch in response, Durant will fall as well. And in this 1v1 dodge, who has the advantage?
Definitely the Gyarados right now, so... Power Whip or Waterfall would one-hit KO Rhyperior right now. So, and also Rhyperior is intimidated, -1 here. So he wouldn't one-hit KO with the Rock Slide even if it hits. So Dragon Dance. So he's fearing the weakness policy here. So he's just boosting himself first before trying to hit the Rhyperior. So he doesn't get one-hit KO'd by the Rock Slide.
And it will be the Rock Slide coming, 65 HP, but as we were talking about a while ago, Mr. Dodge, it seems like Arby has already used up his luck with that crit, with that Fisher's Rend.
Let's see if it KOs though. Solid Rock incoming.
Waterfall will go first, the Gyarados quicker, and that's a one-hit kill. Well done to... I keep forgetting, I keep saying Arby.
Arby and Renny.
Renny's on the blue, but Renny was the one who took this first victory. So anyway, Dodge, what do you think about that game? Whipping out 2 Intimidators, was that a risky play that paid off?
There's no risk at all because they don't have a Defiant user, so why would it be a risk, right? So we could just keep using it since the RB only has mostly physical attackers, main physical attackers. And the others are special, but they're really supports anyway. So
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think the only one who can really disregard all the Intimidate will be the Dragapult. And running double Intimidate, I would expect at least one of the two to have eject button to get that proc again. As soon as it gets hits, it comes back out, it goes out, you get that free swap, and you go back in again,
it
get
depends
another
on the team.
Intimidate. Yeah, it
Yeah,
depends on the
depends.
team, but I'm just, I'm just trying to tier craft here. The Gyarados we saw a while ago was more on that damage, took the Rock Slide. Of course, he was the only Pokemon left, but still, you would expect that to be more the damage. In the meantime, the hit to top in a more supporting role, Fake Outs. So I'd expect that to have that eject button, but I digress. I'm just tier crafting right here, right now. In the meantime, Arby does have that Whimsicott, does have that Dusclops. Would you expect one of those two other Pokemon instead, potentially Tailwind or potentially Trick Room? What do you think will be going on into
He
next
has to
game?
bring out the Dusclops right now since Renny doesn't seem to be looking to bring out Chandelier here. So Durant, he's taking full advantage of Durant since he doesn't have any fire move and except on Rhyperior. So he took advantage of the Dragapult not having a fire move on him. So he just went for it for the Dynamax. He risked it turn 1 and worked out well for him.
Yeah, and I think so too. Getting that Trick Room here for Arby would be pretty essential, as he needs to get that Rapier to go first against the Torrent, especially since he's the only one with a fire move. But here we go, we are going to be going into game number 2. Will we see some swaps? And Renny on the blue, Arby on the red. Let's get it on, let's get it done. Match still going on in this best of 3. So why is it always a best of 3 dodge? What's up with it? As we send out the Dragapult and the Dracovish yet again here for Arby. But Renny will be... Oh, it's a Chandelure sent out in the Hydreigon. Completely different setup. Let's talk about this one real quick. What do you think will be the plan for the blue hand side?
So he was predicting the Dusclops lead probably. So RB thinking otherwise, bringing out the same leads. So he's in a pretty good position since Hydreigon is lower than Dragapult, and Chandelier will get one hit killed by a Dracovish, no doubt. So he's in a pretty bad spot. Yeah, Renny.
Yeah, this is actually such a good lead. Yeah.
He might need to go to Gyarados after this. Switch out to Gyarados and take a move.
Yeah, probably swap out that Hydreigon because you'd expect that Dragapult to go for that Dragon type move, a Draco Meteor, or even a Dynamax Max Wormwood will get to one-hit KO by that point in time. Dracovish as well fishes Ren onto the Chandelure. That Chandelure will be looking to counter out any Trick Room antics as well as potential Will-O-Wisp, I believe. Even Nightshade or two. We'll see though what Renny will be planning because he is into the corner right now. But as we're waiting on for the move to happen, why is it always a best of 3 dodge?
So usually matches are best of 3 since best ones are really cheesy. So you can bring out cheese and you can't counter cheese if it's only a best of 1. So
yeah,
it's not really a fair fight.
Yeah, and I feel like the drafting phase does get a little neutered, but it's a match
information game. It's an information game. In the best of 3.
Speaking of that information though, it's a Dragapult showing that it is going to be Dynamax yet again. Oh, the Dark Pulse does come out first, so this has to be a Choice Scarf. And Hydreigon will get that super effective, but that's a beautiful Dynamax. Max Airstream right now. On to the Chandelure, interesting enough.
Pretty unique.
What do you think? What do you think will be the move that has that Max Airstream to begin with? But yeah, it's going to be Speed Boost. I know it's flying. What kind of flying move is
it? It's literally fly.
Literally fly, perhaps. That'd be interesting. But yeah, Fishes ran onto the Hydreigon. What do you think about those moves? The Hydreigon actually taking the Fish's Rend and then the Airstream connecting onto the Chandelure instead. Would you like it if it gone the other way around? Shadow Ball in response, and both sides taking some hefty damage, but a Dynamax from RB absolutely essential to keep the Dragapult alive.
He might have been predicting an ally switch or a switch out. So Dracovish hitting for the Fish's Rend, or he just wanted to be locked on to Fish's Rend. So not really sure, but he switches out right now, Renny, to the Gyarados.
Yeah, so this will be intimidating that Dracovish. In the meantime, here we go. Of course, that clear body will not affect the Dragapult to begin with. But still, that Hydreigon is quite quick. Well, never mind. Here comes the Whirlwind, actually. So what happened there? That Airstream going ahead of that Choice Scarf. It might not even just be the Choice Scarf, it might be another choice item, but anyway, that is going to be Wormwood getting the stab, attack falling onto the Gyarados. Hydreigon will go down. So honestly, such a good setup here from RV. Allows him to get the first move twice in a row. Ooh, 66 HP, that's a big damage,
even at -1. Dealt a lot of damage.
-1, not very effective, still packing a punch. And here comes the Durant right here, right now. Of course, it will have that attack buff thanks to its ability. And this might be the Durant yet again getting the Dynamax. 2 turns have gone here from Arby with the Dragon Bolt. Both his Pokemon are quite low, but yet again that Airstream allowing him to go even quicker. We'll see if the Durant can keep up. The only way the Durant can survive will be that Dynamax to begin with, Mr. Dodge. And this is going to be a little bit of trouble here now for the Blue
Dracovish
Hands.
will be going first though. Both of them are going first since the Airstream
Yeah, the Airstream
gave him a +1.
Yeah, the Dragapult, then the Dracovish. He does have that advantage. That speed boost at the start allowing so much to happen. But already, Dynamax here now from Renny. He needs to keep that Durant alive. It was his sweeper basically on that first game. And we'll see if it's going to be effective enough on the second. Steel Spikes, of course, will be so potent to keep him in this game. The Gyarados right now has done this job with the Intimidate. And I just want a quick note, it's a red Gyarados. Good to see a shiny actually on the field. The Durant though will go for the Max Guard. Interesting enough. Airstream in response, but it's already an up and up onto the Gyarados. Good read there from Arby. We'll be using this turn to set things up even more. And that Dracovish, as soon as it's ready to hit that Durant with the Fish's Rend, it will be KO Town coming potentially to his way. Dragapult, of course, will lose some HP there thanks to the Life Orb. And the Max Guard will connect. But now, the Chandelure is the only one left, Dodge. What can we expect honestly for Chandelure? We haven't really seen much support here and now. We haven't seen Will-O-Wisp as of yet. The Dragapult
Yes,
though
he probably doesn't do anything here since both of the enemies are faster and they're really good against Chandelure in the first place.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
He should have used Max Steel Spike to KO the Dracovish the last turn though.
Yeah, I think the Max Guard he's a little too afraid of anything coming his way, and right now this is Arby looking for the kill. The Max Airstream now has connected twice, so that's 2 times the speed buff to begin with. Phantom Force to start things off from the Dragapult. Ghost type move will be looking to connect. Priority as well, and I mean the 2-turn Radar Fish's Rend. Oh, that's so much damage. Here comes the Max Steel Spike, and the one's in the void. Was that the accuracy playing in effect, Dodge? What happened there? How did the Dracovish actually avoid that?
Phantom Force, you can't do Phantom Force.
Was that? Oh, it was a Phantom Force. It was on the Dragapult. I thought it was on the Dracovish. And again, the Durant really not going for that Dracovish. Trick Room right here, right now. Just allow that Durant to come forth. The Phantom Force, though, will be waiting on Shadow Ball to start things off. Chandelure will connect on the Dracovish. And oh, it will go down. That's a huge pickoff, actually. The Trick Room. A good setup there. Max Steel Spike, unfortunately, will not be able to connect. Phantom Force right here, right now. Onto the Chandelure, and this is gonna be a 3v1 scenario. Honestly, solid. Oh, Flame Body. It's good. That's good. But
if it brings out Rhyperior right now, he's sure to win.
Yeah, this has to be KO if that Rhyperior is waiting on the bench. But what do you think about the decisions?
For him.
No, I mean he had to. He had to. The only way for him to actually come ahead because of that Airstream to begin with. And yeah, that Rhyperior is there. That has to be GG by this point in time. One hit from the Rhyperior will get the KO, especially if it's a Fire Punch.
We'll have a 1-1.
Yeah, but I just want to talk about it real quick. Dodge, what do you think about the Durant actually targeting there? First Max Guard, not going for the Dracovish, and then into the Dragapult when it did have that Phantom Force. Was that just a misplay there?
I'm not too sure since Dracovish wasn't really much of a threat compared to Dragapult, so he could have just went for a Shadow Ball and Steel Spike onto the Dracovish and not set up Trick Room for the enemy Rhyperior.
Yeah, but that is game number 2. By that point, I feel really that the Trick Room was just too forced. He allowed the Airstream to happen twice, and the only way for him to actually put up a fight would be to go for that Trick Room just to mitigate the speed advantage. Basically, he didn't really know that the Rhyperior was in behind. Of course, you'd expect it. Of course, you'd be looking to read into it. But by that point, he had no more swaps. He had nothing else to change into. And it was do or die time. And he just died on. Like, you really have no choice. If you allow the speed to go on, that is going to be the Fish's Rend getting so much damage done. And by that point, by that point, the Durant was coming out of Dynamax. But anyway, I digress. 1-1 right here, right now. Any swaps you expect from both players?
Arby might pull off the Trick Room mode right here, and Renny might not expect it since he just lost the lead with Hydreigon Chandelure, which is a really good Dusclops counter. Dusclops counter lead, so we might expect some mind games here.
I feel like Renny was actually out mind game there by Arby. And speaking of Arby, we haven't seen what the Rapier has. I mean, I'm assuming that's the weakness policy. The real question is, does he have a self proc, especially with the Dusclops potentially a bulldoze to hit everyone to begin with, get the proc on, and allow that Rapier to gun rampant. But anyway, it looks like it is time to go into game number 3, Mr. Dodge. 1-1 right here, right now. Renny versus Arby coming as close as possible, but Arby just dominating, honestly, in game number 2. Let's see how this is gonna pan out. Dragapult and Dracovish yet again. Same thing. Hitmontop as well as Chandelure in response here for Renny. And what do you think about this? Hitmontop going for the lead will get the Intimidate, of course, onto that Dracovish. And the fake outs will be effective to stop any rents from coming his way.
He might be looking to KO Dracovish right away. And he might sacrifice Chandelure, or if he has on a Focus Sash, he might just tank it and just focus on KOing Dracovish. But Dragapult isn't really a big threat to Durant right now, so the win condition here is to KO what KOs Durant, and Durant will handle the rest when he comes in.
Yeah, seems like there's a case that Dracovish as well as that Rapier in behind that we're expecting. I don't really expect the Whimsicott to show up anytime soon. The Dracovish though will be withdrawn, and into the Dusclops we go. So yes, the Trick Room Setter is here and now we'll be able to see the Focus Sash. And there you go, eject button. I told you, man. I told you. You have, if you're gonna run 2 Intimidate, something has to be afoot. And this means if the Hitmontop doesn't get 1 hit KO'd like on game number 1, as we saw, it will get that double proc. Interesting Dynamax onto the Chandelure. Yes, it does have that Focus Sash, but now it really won't matter unless there is a 4 times effective move. In the meantime, the Chandelure might be looking to set things up for the field, but fake outs will not affect, of course, that Ghost type. Phantom Force right here, right now, 2-turn move to disappear, and who the target is probably gonna be that Chandelure. Max Phantasm in response. Oh, the Dragon Bolt.
Wow.
Beautiful read. Beautiful read.
So he was expecting the Chandelure to Dynamax. So Renny here wasting his Dynamax turn, so he might just go for the Dusclops after this, or just KO Dragapult too, since he would be coming back with the Phantom Force in this turn as well.
Yeah, so Togekiss comes out, interesting enough. And here we go with the Phantom Force, will be of course onto that Chandelure. That's a lot of damage. Super effective. Life Orb as well. Pretty potent. Max Phantasm right here.
The Trick Room though, it's incoming. So he might be he's setting up for the Trick Room Rapier in the back. So he just lets the Dragapult get KO'd.
Yeah, the Dragapult is the one that takes that damage, and the Dusclops will be able to survive. This has to be a Trick Room coming, and as we say, there you go. Was that a misplay? Not going for it. Dusclops. What do you think about that one, Dodge?
It might not, he wasn't gonna KO the Dusclops either way, unless he helping hands Phantasm the Dusclops, he wouldn't die. So Rapier is pretty set up here, pretty much.
Yeah, the Rapier is out, and as you're saying, yeah, the Dusclops is a very tanky Pokemon. All, of course, be expected to have that Eviolite since it is not its full evolution form. But as people say, Dusclops is better than its evolved form anyway. The Rapier is in a good spot as well, and this has to be a Dynamax coming our way. The Rapier getting set up with potential Max Quake, get that Sandstorm. I'm really hoping the Dusclops has something like Bulldoze to proc its own weakness policy, because on the blue hand side, you don't see too much that will be effective against Rapier unless the Gyarados is waiting in behind. Togekiss though will be recalled. And this looks very indecisive here, and now of course the Hitmontop will get the Intimidate yet again on the Rapier, absolutely essential. But this is the second time he goes for that swap, only allowing the Chandelure to actually get any damage done. Dynamax in response here from Arby, and we'll see how this is gonna unfold. There we go, Dynamax in behind yet again. The Rapier will be set up, will be looking so potent. And of course, that Dusclops should be going first in this scenario in terms of that speed.
Let's look at the Bulldoze right here. So
Max Guard first though.
Okay.
And priority, of course. Yeah, there you go, the Bulldoze. Weakness policy will be procs. That's Dusclops the slowest. And our Rapier, how much damage will he take? 10. 10 damage, Dodge! For a free...
That's huge.
A free boost. Huge damage. Huge self damage. I can't believe it. Go.
So he's looking to shuffle the Intimidates here. So he's trying to maneuver around the Trick Room and the Dynamax turns of Hitmontop. So he gets switched out, probably bringing Gyarados right here if he has it.
If he does have it, but we already seen 3 of his 4 Pokemon, and that is gonna be the Togekiss yet again, so that potentially is the Durant in behind. And here comes the Rockfall! Oh, that Togekiss will fall instantaneously, KOing that one. And that was really a good read again there from Arby, I believe. Renny was forced, if he does have that Durant in behind, he is forced to only swap to that Togekiss. And it will be falling on, crashing down. Hasn't done anything into the game. The Dusclops will take a little bit of the buffet, as well as the Chandelure. But basically, this is Arby in such a good spot. It takes care of the antics. Yo.
So he wasn't really looking to predict that. He just wanted to get the Sandstorm up, and Chandelure wasn't really much of a threat anyway to Rhyperior. So I just wanted to KO the Togekiss, I guess. But now he's back to +0 stage since Hitmontop came in twice.
Yeah, that eject button is so pesky. I know there's the cheese where you can give your opponent the eject button and then hit them out of Dynamax, but beyond that, really good effective use of this item. Gonna be able to get the proc twice, and right now it is gonna be the Hitmontop. Still potential to go for the swap on out, but you don't want to swap out your support for your sweeper to begin with. Trick Room still in effect. So the right-hand side of Arby should be going initially. Oh, the Chandelure will be swapped out instead for the Durants. That's what we were talking about. So no Gyarados this time. No juggling with Intimidate. Here we go, though, with the ability yet again. Going for the boost. Max Quake right here, right now. Oh, who is this going for? The Durant will take the damage, but it will stay alive. The defense is pretty high on that Durant. But still, the boosts are pretty huge. Special defense going on up for the right-hand side. Will-O-Wisp as well. But Hitmontop able to avoid close combat in response, but that Rhyperior, man, that Rhyperior is too tanky for that.
Doesn't really matter to him, so just brush it off. Just a little damage.
And how does the blue hand side get out of this dodge? Arby is in such a good spot by this point.
It's such a pretty tough spot. So unless Rhyperior miss targets. So he's just gonna focus Durant here, since Hitmontop isn't really a factor in this game anymore, since he's gonna get Will-O-Wisp next turn, and Durant is the only one that can deal damage to Rhyperior. And Rhyperior with a SP defense boost from the Sandstorm and the Max Quake, Chandelure isn't gonna stand a chance as well, so he's sacrificing Chandelure here.
Yeah, sacrificing Chandelure, gonna be taking that free swap by the end, so at least allow the Durant to have a potential fight steal spike in response. Onto the Hitmontop, 15 HP, the Sandstorm might be able to take care of that. Defense will be going on up. And by this point, Arby is just playing the setup game. A strong defense will be allowing that right-hand side to stay alive for so long. Nightshade right here, right now. Doesn't matter what the target is. It will get that KO. Chandelure insta-killed by that Dusclops. Close combat yet again, though. This time, we'll take 200 damage. And negligible, still on the green. And with the Durants coming on out, will there still be a Trick Room term in behind? Sandstorm, of course, still 2. We'll wait on for confirmation on that. One more turn dodge! And this might just be the last turn in this game.
He can't do it. No way he can do it. So he's gonna get KO'd. He's gonna get double KO'd next turn if Durant doesn't have Protect. So, interestingly enough, Rhyperior here doesn't have Protect. So, I've seen 4 of his moves and he doesn't have Protect.
Yeah, it's a full damage type, so it's not the Assault Vest. Obviously, we've seen the weakness policy. And this is a good way to stall. That Durant does have that Protect, so this does mean that it won't die right now. Oh, Wide Guard even from the Hitmontop, so making sure that there is no Earthquake shenanigans. Fire Punch will be looking to connect onto the Durant. Nightshade right here, right now, onto the Hitmontop, and both single target moves. That has to be game. Like, sure, that was a good stall, honestly, from Renny. He is able to wait out the Trick Room, but beyond that, in a 3v1 scenario, 23 HP, you can't make this happen. No one, not even the protagonist of Pokemon. We've seen him fail a lot. Renny is in such a bad spot, and you know that the Durant is so small and tiny compared to everything else. Here, Zyrahead does get a lot of damage on the Rhyperior. Still not enough.
Doesn't even get the KO.
It's still not enough, and this is a game over. Arby takes the W, and what a much there, Dodge. It was so much mind games. It was so much of who can win on what.
So it's pretty nice game. So Arby getting out of the best of 3 information game. So he took a lot of information the first game, and pretty much came back after the first loss.
Yep, and that's about it from us. It's always fun, and I hope we are able to do this more. You know, it's hard to record, especially if it's on the Switch. But hopefully we can show off the community even more and more. GG's to Renny and Arby. Hopefully we see more from them and from everyone else. I've been Dax, and he's been Dodge, and thank you guys for tuning on in to this Pokemon PH VOD.